Good morning. You guys want to say good morning too? Good morning. Oh, there you are.
Good afternoon.
Today we're gonna go over how to change drum heads, and you get a sneak peek on how we tune here at Commandant's own Tenorline.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here with Section Leader Corporal Kia Harvin.
What's up?
Lance Corporal Duncan Crossan, and your host, Lance Corporal Eric Carr, also known as EMCProductions. And today we're changing some drum heads. So here we go.
That's how I change heads.
So right now we have the Remo suede heads on our tenors, and we're switching over to Evans EC2 level 360 head. Not because we're sponsored or anything, but because these are a little more resonant. Okay, so first rule of taking off the heads is you want to go in a star pattern, because that is best to save your rims. Like if you untighten one area altogether, then the rims are going to get warped sooner. So, star pattern. And also, I'm not completely uncranking one lug at a time. I'm doing about 3 to 4 twists per lug and then repeating. Once again, just so you don't warp your rims as fast. Personally, I like to tune using just one hand because I can feel like I really get a good grip on it and able to do it faster that way. But these guys, they are all fancy with their double key technique.
I like 2 keys because it makes my mind think that I'm detuning the head very evenly. So I just go around. Once I get it loose enough, I can just give it some flicky poos, and then it'll come right off.
Hey, 2 keys is better than 1.
2 keys is definitely more than 1.
2 keys good, 1 key bad.
1 key is fine. Another very important tuning tip. Another very important tip here, when you take off your head, you want to rotate the rim, right? Because on quads, if you can see, our playing zones are all on one side of the head, or at least they should be. So that side of the rim is going to be cranked down a little tighter. So you want to rotate the rim every time you do a head change, just so it doesn't get warped as fast. So we started here. I'm going to turn it 1 lug over and put it down so I remember where it goes. Next step, I got one of these bars of wax. We're going to go around the bearing edge with the wax a few times. And the reason for that is because when you're doing some rim shots or playing in bad zones, sometimes you're going to hit the bearing edge and it'll leave a little dent. So when you change your head, you're going to want to do this to get all the dents out. So that way it's almost as good as new after you change your heads. Okay, now we're gonna lube up the heads. So, we got our white lithium grease. This one is spray. You can also use the one that you just pour out and dip it in, but you wanna get some lithium grease on all of the tension rods. That way it'll be easier to screw them in at high tensions for marching drums. And you'll save your tension rods and your lug casings for longer. Should I just spray into the freaking thing?
Maybe like
hold it away from everything.
I would do it
and
in
then
like
just,
one of these heads maybe.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea.
Okay, now we're putting on the new heads. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna finger tighten every single tension rod. What that means is you're just gonna literally tighten it with your finger until you can't anymore. So what you can also do to save time is just tighten them in with your fingers and then use a drum key to get it all the way finger tightened. But make sure that you just go until it starts putting tension on the head, because right now we don't want to put any extra tension on the heads. And the reason we put the logos on drums 3, 4, and Spock upside down is because of the playing zones, right? This is the playing zone for drum 3. If the logo was up there, you'd be like pretty much playing right on it. So put it back there, because if you play on it too much, then it's gonna smear and it won't look as good. So put your logos upside down. On the Spock drum, you play right in the middle of it. But usually the error that is made is you'll play too far up here. Usually you won't play too far back, so that's why we put that one upside down too. So now all the drums are finger tightened. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around in a star pattern on every single drum and crank them up just a little bit. I'd say about 1.5 rotations on each lug. Okay, so we just did our first cranking on the drums. So now I'm gonna go around to each one and tap at each lug to see how it sounds. Clearly, this one is a lower pitch than that one. So we're gonna tune here and directly across from that one, because we want equal tension on the whole head. So we're gonna do that to every single drum. And another little trick, if you're having trouble hearing the pitch, you can mute the middle of the drum head slightly with your finger. That way you'll hear less of the ring and more of the attack, instead of... So that one is lower. Okay, so all the drums are now in tune with themselves. So now we're gonna crank them up again, because these are really, really low. So let's go up another rotation and a half approximately. So now once again, we're gonna check each lug to see if it's in tune with the other ones.
Is there a feature that sound like the trash can outside?
Okay, so that's as high as we're gonna tune them for today. I mean, they're still pretty low, but you don't want to over tighten them too soon, right? You want to plan out your head changes so that you have at least a day before they need to be cranked up nice and high. So yeah, if you change them right before a show, that's probably gonna be bad. So don't do that.
No, I'm carrying them to the dumpster, and they're going in there. And they will stay in there.
We're out here the day after the head change, cranking them up. We are now 1 week after the head change, and we have a slight problem here. You can see on my drum 4, the rim is slightly warped. So you can see in all there. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to see that. Like on a rim that's not warped, it's perfectly round and you can't see any other extra crud down at the bottom of where the head is. So that's gonna happen if you have older drums. Even if you maintain them well, sometimes the rims will just get warped and bent out of shape. So we're gonna have to change that one. But anyways, here at the Commandant's Own, we tune to specific notes on our drums. Drum 4 we tune to an A sharp, drum 3 is a C sharp, drum 2 is an E, and drum 1 is a G. And then the Spock, we usually don't try to get a certain pitch, but usually it's about an octave above drum 1. So I'm gonna play a quick clip of us playing 8 on a hand so you can hear the tuning. Just keep in mind that my 4 drum is jacked up because of the rim, so drum 4 is probably gonna be a little bit out of tune. But here you go. watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and now you have the information needed to get your Tenorline tuned nice and good. And as for how often you should change your heads, I mean, obviously if a tenor head breaks, you should change that one right away. But, I mean, it depends how often you use them. I guess if you're in a competitive marching band, probably like once a month if you rehearse like 3 to 4 days a week. I think once a month would be a good amount of time to change them. At the Commandant's Own, we change it about every 2 weeks because we play on them a whole lot. Usually we play on those drums 5 to 6 days a week for about anywhere from like 2 to 6 hours a day, so that's why we need to change them so often. But if you just do like 1 or 2 parades a month, then you probably barely ever have to change them. Like on my set of Yamaha drums, I probably change those heads once a year because I only use them for like a few videos a month, so you don't need to do it that much if you don't play them that much. And make sure you follow America's Quadline on our brand new Instagram page, USMC Quads, and subscribe to my channel, EMCProductions, and click that Liberty bell so you get notified immediately if I post a new video, and consider buying a custom t-shirt. I'll leave the link in the description, and have a good morning.